and let us all do we can to build a better future.
There's a lot I want to unpack with this article. It's from RT America, and it's where a CNN anchor is basically yelling at Andrew Yang for being on Tucker Carlson's show. Now, look, I have my opinions about Andrew Yang, and especially about this forward party. I'm in full support of third parties. All right, well done, Andrew Yang. And we do have a snippet of him being interviewed by Cenk Uygur, but here's the thing. I don't like anyone starting to tone police anyone of where they can and cannot go. And I know we all have our opinions about Tucker Carlson. He does have a very popular show, and when you show up on his show, it's a chance for his guests to, we've seen a lot of progressives talk about progressive policies on Tucker Carlson's show. But again, this tone policing that we're seeing from the establishment, oh, you shouldn't go here, you shouldn't go here. It's censorship. And I'm glad Andrew Yang was kind of pushing back against the CNN anchor. Let's play this first video.
Yeah, Andrew, I just have to ask, Tucker Carlson, let's just say he's just a bad person, and he represents so much of what is wrong in television news these days. You know this all too well. He spouts off white nationalist talking points, and so why would you even go on his show? And why didn't you go after him when he's citing the Unabomber and talking, just crazy stuff?
One of the things we have to do, Jim, is try and take the temperature of the country down. And the only way to do that is to reach out to people where they are. As you know, Tucker commands a massive audience. And if you wanted to try to build a unifying popular movement that does call attention to the fact that our system's not working really for anyone, you have to, again, reach out. And that's what I was doing on that show. The goal is to have Republicans who are discontent to channel their discontent in a positive way. And right now, in my view, it's not going in a positive direction. I'd like to help change that.
And you think you could bring some of Tucker's viewers into the Forward Party? Is that what you were trying to do there?
I had a volunteer, Carrie Ann, who actually said that. She'd been helping my campaigns for the last couple of years, and her Republican father had never taken an interest. And then I was on Tucker's program, and all of a sudden, he calls Carrie Ann and is like, hey, tell me more. And I think that's the only way we're going to get through this time. That we sense that we're teetering towards some version of a new civil war and political violence. And unfortunately, the incentives are going to make that more likely, not less likely over time, unless we have a dramatic shift in dynamic. And that's what I'm trying to provide with the Forward Party. It's going to involve reaching out to Americans of every political alignment.
All right, Andrew Yang, there's so much more we could talk about.
All right, so I just want to read, you don't have to pull up the article, Faze, but I just want to just read a few short excerpts from this article. Again, I agree with Andrew Yang with reaching out. Jimmy Dore has showed up on Tucker Carlson's show, Dr. Cornel West, former Representative Tulsi Gabbard, a lot of, and Glenn Greenwald as well. Numerous people showed up on Tucker Carlson's show. Now, again, that's a huge platform, and if it's a chance to talk about issues that are important, I agree with it. Look, I'm in full support of third parties, and I agree with Andrew Yang, especially when it comes down to, again, talking about third parties, breaking away from the two-party system. Do I have confidence in the Forward Party? Is yet to be seen, especially with the next video that we will pull up. But first I want to read a few short excerpts. The rebuke came after Yang appeared on Tucker Carlson's Today on Thursday to discuss his decision to leave the Democrats and form a new party. Okay. I'm all for third parties. I can agree with that. The conversation wasn't Yang's first interview with Tucker Carlson. He spoke to the Fox News host about the impact of automation on the U.S. workforce while he was running for president in 2019. But with former President Donald Trump out of office and Carlson constantly dominating the ratings with his most watched cable news show, the mainstream media attacks on the Fox host have escalated. And again, look, it's a large, popular show. And this is Media 101, Outreach 101. You want to go on the show to where you're going to get the most views and the most eyeballs on it. And Tucker Carlson has a very popular show. I know there's a lot of people that don't like him. That's understandable. But if it's a chance to reach out to other people and maybe change your mind from being diehard Republican red supporters and these or that looking for another alternative, I'm all for it. And I don't like this tone policing that we're seeing from corporate media. Again, this is the same kind of tone policing that we're also seeing hit a lot of YouTube and independent media networks. A lot of these content creators that are struggling day in and day out. There's this shadow ban that we're seeing from the establishment media. And as establishment media constantly gets on all the platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, they are dictating to us what we can and cannot see. And again, with this Forward Party, I do wish Andrew Yang all the best. Now, there's this short video right here that recently came to my attention. It's an interview where he was on TYT. I wish Yang was a little more clear about this, especially his comments towards teachers' unions, because this is something that if the Forward Party thinks that teachers' unions are some kind of big conglomerate or, some kind of real big power player, I got news for you, buddy. Let's play this video.
I don't think there are extremes anymore. First of all, I don't think there is a very small sliver of extreme on the left, but it's not. I just don't think it's certainly not anything that people talk about in the mainstream press. None of what they talk about on the left is extreme. That's my opinion. I don't know if you disagree. I'm curious to hear what you think. In fact, let's start there. What do you think is extreme on the left?
Sure. Well, so what's going on the left is a different type of distortion, which is that you have certain special interests that know that all of the Democratic legislators have to go through a Democratic primary. So it's not the general public. It's this 10 to 20% who are the most engaged, yes, but also the people at the highest at stake. So this could include Big Pharma, which we're seeing. This could include teachers' unions. So there are different
Stop it right there. Stop right there. Yeah, I'm going to ask you to rewind it. But again, teachers' unions. They are the most powerless group. They're constantly being gutted. Teachers need unions. They're constantly being screwed over, not only at the state level, but also in Washington, D.C. as well. They're not this evil conglomerate where they have all the power. Especially here in the city of Chicago, teachers here, especially public school teachers, need a lot of support. Teachers unions are right now struggling day in, right now, to make sure that their teachers are taken care of and also make sure that their students are taken care of. Again, Yang, if that's something that you think that's extreme and that the Forward Party is not going to be for, yeah, you're losing me. I do agree with third parties existing, but this Forward Party, it's going to be a tough sell, and especially when you start thinking that teachers' unions have this kind of power. Let's play the rest of the video.
So this could include Big Pharma, which we're seeing. This could include teachers' unions. So there are different interest groups that take advantage of the fact that you have a relatively narrow slice of the public that's actually going to control who gets reelected. On the right, you can definitely see the extremity loud and clear, where it's making it so everyone has to be in lockstep with Donald Trump.
You're right. All right. So again, these extremes on the left. Let's talk about like left extremism for real quick, because again, what's so extreme about Medicare for all or student debt forgiveness? What's extreme about dealing with climate change or a Federal Jobs Guarantee Act? What's extreme about a UBI? That's Andrew Yang. That's your territory right there, man. What is extreme about, getting out of these regime change wars? That's something a lot of progressives are fighting for, but also a lot of conservatives are fighting for too. A lot of us do agree on the issues on how the two-party system is screwing us over. Now, again, to defend Yang, being, talked down to by CNN, especially going on Tucker Carlson's show, what that shows is CNN being little children crying that they're losing their ratings. Listen, CNN and MSNBC were addicted to Donald Trump. So was CBS and ABC. They needed that orange man so they can get the boost of the ratings. And because the orange man is gone, they are far behind and they're jealous of Tucker Carlson's ratings. Again, it's a back and forth that we see on corporate media. And again, if you're talking about issues that are important of the day, you want to go on the show where you will get the most views. Tucker Carlson right now, he's king of the hill. But again, times change, things change. It won't be like that forever. But again, tone policing someone where they can and cannot go is something I can't stand for, especially when it comes down to promoting third parties. Again, being critical to the Forward Party, it's a tough sell. Good luck, Andrew Yang, and all the best. But everyone pretend to be surprised when, during some election cycle, the Forward Party starts supporting the Democrats. Again, maybe I'm wrong. But again, we do give a platform for Andrew Yang to talk about the Forward Party on Hard Lens Media.